Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Wave. So we got a video here of really demonstrating just how out of touch and dopey Mike Pence is, and his campaign is really not going to last all that long, in my opinion. And did he have a decent debate performance? Yes. Is he taking on Trump in a little bit of a stronger way and has a little bit more of a presence in this race than I maybe would have thought back in April or May? Yeah, he might, but the guy is just kryptonite, a political kryptonite from just about any group of people in the country. They dislike Mike Pence for one reason or another. And the pie of people that potentially could like Mike Pence for his political positions is maybe the smallest of anybody in the whole field. And his whole really claim to fame is being Trump's VP and being there the whole time, and all this quote unquote good stuff that they did during his administration, whatever the hell that is. I'm not sure what that is. The Republicans haven't explained that to me either. All this good stuff that Trump apparently did. What exactly? All the stuff that was left over from the Obama years in the early part of Trump's administration. Anyways, that's a different video and a different topic. Without further ado, let's get into the clip of Mike Pence here.
We've got to be the party of fiscal discipline and reform.
Yeah.
And finally, on the right to life, the former president, almost everybody else on that stage with me in that first presidential debate wants to relegate the right to life to a states-only issue. Well, for me, the right to life is not a state issue. It's a moral issue. And as president of the United States, I'll be a champion for the right to life in the Oval Office.
I'm glad you brought that up. Are you worried about the ability to win, though? Are you
Not a state issue, a moral issue. After for decades and decades and decades, all we heard from the right is that we don't want to ban abortion outright. We just want the states to make their own decisions about things. And now that states are making their own decisions about things, and some states are deciding to not fully outright ban abortion, that's not far enough for Mike Pence. Yeah. So not sure what to make of that. I mean, they're totally just flip-flopping on whether or not it should be a state right or not.
I'll be a champion for the right to life in the Oval Office.
I'm glad you brought that up. Are you worried about the ability to win, though? Are you worried about the ability to get the moderates in? If you go hard on abortion, I think what Trump is trying to play here is let's take somewhat of a victory. We're pulling back Roe, which was barbaric. We're getting it back to at least something sensible, something like the European model we've seen in other countries like that. But we're not going to go so far as to abandon the middle and lose in 2024.
Yeah. Well, look, I actually believe that standing for the right to life is more important than politics.
Mike Pence really believes getting on his high horse about abortion and being the furthest right on the issue of, as far as I know, anybody in the race, and going live on TV, on NEWSMAX, by the way. How is NEWSMAX taking any sort of reasonable, sensible position on anything at all? This might be the first time I've ever seen that happen in history. And here you have Mike Pence here going, no, that's not far enough to crazy enough of a position for me to get behind. Abortion being decided by states' rights, we should ban it federally, is basically what he's implying here. And the guy makes a really good point. Like, you're a political candidate and you're on TV and you're doing an interview as a political candidate trying to get people to vote for you, saying something that is extremely unpopular and appeals to a very small amount of people. And Mike Pence's response to it is to basically be sanctimonious about his personal beliefs and put his personal beliefs over facts about how many people support the right to abortion in this country. And this is coming from the party that is apparently about facts over feelings. Don't think so.
Standing for the right to life is more important than politics.
But if you can't win,
even
how
though
do you enforce it?
Well, but look, the former president actually suggested that we lost elections in the midterms because we overturned Roe v. Wade. I don't believe that.
That's a great point by Trump. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, and Trump is entirely right about there being a kernel of truth that Roe v. Wade hurt Republicans in 2022. As a matter of fact, we've had special elections just this year in Iowa that were seeking to ban abortion, and they didn't hold up. I believe it was Iowa. I could be wrong about that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a state in the Midwest that is predominantly Republican where they just voted down a measure to ban abortion. So it's completely right that the overturn of Roe v. Wade is hurting the Republican Party with voters in the middle that aren't fully engaged on the crucifixion of people getting abortions.
For a second. Okay. I think when you stand on the right to life and you stand...
He doesn't believe it for a second that the overturning of Roe v. Wade has hurt Republicans, or at least hurt them in 2022 midterm elections. Well, that's just you going with your feelings over the facts. There's no facts that back up that the Roe v. Wade and overturning of Roe v. Wade by the Supreme Court in any way helped the Republican Party politically in any sort of way. There's just no evidence of that.
And with principle and compassion. And demonstrate a willingness to put our arms not just around the unborn, but around newborns, around women in crisis pregnancies. We can continue to win hearts.
Around unborns and newborns, except when they grow up and you have to try to come up with money to feed them and put them into a good school and get them a good education and have enough money to give them a decent life. Well, we're not going to help you with any of that, but we'll put our arms around them when they're fetuses in the womb. It's like what George Carlin put it the best way, preborn, you're fine. Postborn, you're fucked. That's what the great George Carlin said. Rest in peace.
Hearts and minds. But look, you talk about our European allies. I mean, most of Europe bans abortion after a child in the womb is capable of experiencing pain, Rob. 70% of Americans support that. And
Right.
yet the former president, Governor...
When is that? Why don't you tell us when that is exactly, Mike Pence?
Nikki Haley, others on that stage are trying to marginalize the question of abortion only to the states. I'll be a champion for the right
Understood.
to life, and I'll seek to create a minimum national standard even as we advance the cause of life in every state.
I think that compassion for life is great. I worry about it as a voting liability, but I understand.
Oh my God! I worry about it as a voting liability. I know this is going to hurt us politically, but the passion for life is a good thing. Like these people are just unintelligent, just morons. Like, man, it's really, really kind of crazy that people watch this programming seriously like want to get their news from these people and then tell me that the programming I watch is propaganda and I'm some leftist idiot that watches nonstop spoon-fed propaganda all day from MSNBC or CNN or like it's just crazy stuff, guys. Mike Pence, really not a very strong candidate in any sense of the word. His political strengths are that he was the vice president, that Trump chose him to be VP. Like that's basically what he's got going for him, is the name recognition of, being on all those dumb bumper stickers we see everywhere. Okay, of Trump Pence, that we see on all these beat up old ass cars all over the place, as well as lifted huge trucks. yeah, so that's pretty much all I got for you guys on this one. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, share the video. If you know somebody that's interested in politics and might be interested in the video, and comment down below. Let me know what you think about Mike Pence's comments on abortion and this NEWSMAX hosts, who I'm not actually even sure who the name of him is. Basically him calling him out on the fact that this is hurting the Republican Party politically, and Mike Pence's wishy-washy response that, well, he doesn't care about the politics of it. Well, okay, well, if you're running for president, maybe you should care about the politics of things that are extremely unpopular that you support, but maybe they don't even care about the process of winning elections anymore. They're trying to just do away with all that, even though Mike Pence isn't as far along on that as maybe some of the others in the Republican Party. But anyways, let me know what you think about the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.